မင်္ဂလာပါဒီဗီဒီယိုမှာတော့ကိုရီရဲ့ data ကို computer တွေကိုဖတ်ပြီးသွားပြီး import လုပ်ပြီးသွားပြီပေါ့နော်အဲ့တော့ဒီ data တွေကိုဘယ်လိုမျိုး analyze လုပ်မလဲဆိုတာကိုမစတင်ခင်မှာဒီ data တွေ analyze မလုပ်ခင်မှာဘယ်လို clean လုပ်မလဲဆိုတာကိုပြောသွားမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒါ data wrangling ပေါ့နော် data wrangling ဆိုတာ data cleaning ပါပဲအဲ့တော့ data cleaning လုပ်တဲ့အခါမှာdata type တွေပြပြပါလာမယ်เนาะတကယ်လို့ဘယ်လိုမျိုး missing data တွေ duplicate data တွေရှိရင်ဘယ်လို handle လုပ်မလဲဒါတွေနောက်ပြီးတော့လို့ရှိရင် data တွေကို set တယ်အဲ့တော့ကောင်းပြီ data wrangling data cleaning ဆိုတာပါလေပေါ့နော်ကိုရီ survey ကောက်တာပဲဖြစ်ဖြစ်ဒါမှမဟုတ်လို့ရှိရင် HR တို့เนาะဒီစေုံတွေမှာပဲဖြစ်ဖြစ် government data တွေပဲဖြစ်ဖြစ်ကောက်ယူတဲ့အခါမှာ data တွေမှာအချက်လက်လွဲနေတာတွေဥပမာကိုကနာမည်ပေါ့เนาะရိုက်ထည့်ခိုင်းပေးမဲ့ဒါမှမဟုတ်လို့ရှိရင် number ကိုရိုက်ထည့်လိုက်တာမျိုးကိုက number ကိုတောင်းတာဖြစ်ပေမဲ့เนาะ stats string ကိုရိုက်ထည့်လိုက်တာမျိုးဒါတွေကကြုံနေကြဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒါတွေကို mismatch data wrong data type တွေဖြစ်တယ်ပြီးရင်တချို့record တွေမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင် information မပြည့်စုံဘူးမပြည့်စုံတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့် data တွေ miss ဖြစ်နေတာကိုတွေ့ရလိမ့်မယ်နောက်တစ်ခုကကြာလို့ရှိရင်တချို့ data တွေဆိုရင် duplicate ဖြစ်နေတာကိုတွေ့ရလိမ့်မယ်ဒီဟာတွေကိုရှင်းလင်းတဲ့အပိုင်းပေါ့နော်ဘယ်လိုရှင်းလင်းမလဲ Python 2ကိုအသုံးပြုပြီးတော့ရှင်းလင်းတဲ့အပိုင်းကို data wrangling data cleaning လို့ခေါ်တာဖြစ်ပါတယ်we first explore the data before we do any cleaning all right so exploration is important to see what are the data inside how many rows are there how many columns are there for instance in this donor data set we can see that there are 969 records all right index starting from 0 to 968 and then we have about 10 columns all right so then it also give you the info is very handy it also give you the data type for each column. Okay, next, let's see what are the data, right, inside the folder. In the first step, we see what are the, let's start with the information of the data, right? So our donor data, we can use a df.info to check what are the column names, all right? How many columns are there? How many rows are there? For instance, in this example, there are 969 records with the 10 columns. Right, so this is given by the df.info. Next, let's see the first 5 row, all right, of the data frame. Okay, so df.head give you it is a very handy tool to see what are the data inside your data set. All right, so this number, integer number, you can indicate the number of rows that you want to display. If you put that df.head 10, this is the number of rows that you will see. All right, so not only the head, we can also see the tail. Okay, df.tail. Okay, it will give you the last 10 rows of the data. See the index. All right, so the index number is changed. So before we do any cleaning, we want to see what are the data inside your data sets. Right. Other useful pandas attribute and methods are given as follow. df.shape gives you the number of rows and columns in the dataset. Just now under the info, we also can see the number of columns and rows, but df.shape gives you a direct answer for the number of rows and columns in the tuples. All right, and then df.columns give you the names of the column. That is very useful. Later you will do the lot of analysis. You need to change the column name. This is handy tool for you. All right, df.index give you the index of the record starting from the first record all the way to the end. All right, and similarly, LOC and ILOC give you a way to access the particular cell, right? One we want to use the index number, we will use the ILOC. One you want to use the column name and all this, you will use the LOC. All right. So these are the few attributes and methods you will be familiarized yourself when you start to work on the more data. Next, let's move on to using the Pandas library to check the data types and how to change the data types from one to another. All right. So common data types that you will see for any data sets are float, integer for numerical values, object for your categorical value, text, and then dates and time. All right. So to check the data types of your attributes, you can use the D types. Right? If you check on the details, you can see that on our donor data, the two data types that we see here is integer and object. All right. For the last four amount, for example, income and the investment and then the retention investment, right? So 3-1. This three and then number of donors recruited, it should be showing as a number, right? We know that this amount, like the donor values, sorry, number of donors should be the number. But here it is given as an object. What is the reason? If you look at the income, all right, you can see the income. We usually put it in a dollar in front, okay, and then we use a comma, all right, for all three digits. So this is how we usually use it in our data. But for later manipulation, we should define this as a numerical value by removing the dollars and comma. All right. So we can remove dollar and comma from this attribute, this column, and then later we can convert to integer or floating data. All right. So here I show you how to convert from the data type object to integer using as type. ASTIP type, and then you give the attribute for the you give the sorry data type for the arguments, right? So the data type that you want to change is integer, so we just need to give integer as a argument. Okay, so here you can see income has been changed to integer. All right. But remember, before you check the data type, you have to remove those dollars and comma before using the S type. All right. How to remove this dollar and comma, I will explain in the next video, another desk cleaning. Okay.